Welcome everyone to the Outplayed podcast, a weekly show where we talk about all things Paragon, the Open Prime, entertainment, TV shows, anime. We got into like a really big anime discussion last podcast that we really didn't plan on going into, but still a good conversation. And then just really quickly, we'll go through the introduction. I am your co-host Cordy. I stream Paragon 4 days a week, Sunday through Thursday. Thursday through Sunday, sorry. I put a lot of YouTube content online. I do a little bit of co-casting with Ego and his tournaments. And then now we just started doing this podcast. So I'm super excited about that. And then one big thing that I got coming up is I'm working on a build guide. That is something that we really need in the community. So for these new players, these new players coming into the game, that they have kind of a general building of how to go, because it is pretty tough coming into a new MOBA. And then whoever else wants to take it.
Bro, that's all Wolfie. All Wolfie. I need to remember what I actually do here.
Okay, so hi, my name is Mike Wolfie, or Wolfie for short. I also stream Paragon. I usually stream it about 2 to 3 times a week. It's really just quick play stuff, fun moments, just trying to help out the community, give them a place to hang out and relax and not be so sweaty or competitive. You got Ego. Ego does the competitive scene. Cordy does the beginner scene. Then you got me in the middle, just kind of screaming at you, pretty much.
Quality entertainment.
Quality
I gotta
Watch
say,
over Netflix.
I gotta say, like, the best, no disrespect to all the other streamers out there, the best like streamer and like entertainment wise in Paragon
Is Wolfie 100%.
That's cap. Okay.
No,
Chinchilla is gold.
The wolf heads, the crazy noises that you do with the voiceovers when people use their skills, like it's Wolfie.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Try to stand out a bit. Now, Ego, what do you do?
Hey guys, I'm Ego. For those of you who don't know, I do VA stuff on the side, but for Paragon, I primarily am casting tournaments. I was mechanically diffing too many, and I didn't want the ops to gather up too hard, so I defaulted myself into casting, and I run tournaments. I run the OPL, or the Overpowered Paragon League. We have our season 1 championship coming up, so I'm mostly, keeping up our weekly games, but also like trying to put stuff together to make that to make this event like the best that we possibly can, especially since we're going to be trying to do things a little bit differently to streamline it a little bit. Buddy, I'm the talk fast guy.
The auctioneer.
I'm the auctioneer. I deprive my lungs of the base necessity I need to function to try to keep things up.
But yeah, killing it in the league, man. Like whenever you started doing the league, it's like, it's kind of tough to do a league in this small community, but you kept it going, man. It's really awesome,
dude. It honestly makes me so happy. I'm kind of nervous, dude. I'm kind of nervous because I feel like whenever season 1 ends and we're at the final tournament and the final like person wins, and like that person's the champ for the the thing, and we've been kind of going the slogan of like, for like merchandising it and marketing it, is the slogan is going to be like only one crown, so like only one person can win. Are you the strongest? So we put a lot of emphasis on that. I do think that once it all comes to its conclusion and season 1 is over, before we even like really commit to doing a season 2, I do think I'm probably going to cry on the stream. Because we had like, dude, we had so many people when I was like, I really want to try to start a league, that like, I don't want to like try to like say down talk, but I had a lot of people who came to like me in my DMs personally, said like, don't waste your money just to fail. This community doesn't want something like that. The community will push back against you starting something like it. And I got a lot of pushback for it. And then at a point when, it actually started going, I actually got a couple of death threats as well. And I was like, really uncomfortable in the space, but seeing like how much the community loves it and loves competitive content. It's so good, man. I genuinely love these guys so much.
People just like don't want other people to succeed.
Yeah, I don't know why,
crazy,
dude.
man.
Everybody can eat. I don't know why everyone's like, no, you can't succeed. You have to be trash like the rest of us. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know who thinks themselves are so important like that. But
yeah, that's why I hang out with you guys. You guys don't bully the shit out of me. You just diff me whenever I'm playing by myself and 3-man rotate on my shit. That's acceptable. I can leave those games.
Speaking of 3-man rotations, we'll get into our Paragon talk now. That way we don't like derail in the very beginning.
That's true.
So we had like a week. We did the podcast last Thursday. That was the patch day, so we got a little bit of taste of what the patch was going to be. How are you guys feeling now with like a week under your belt? How is the matches going for you guys?
You go first.
Oh man, it's kind of tough because I took a actually terribly timed small break of like 5
I've
days to stop
noticed.
playing video
I've
games.
noticed.
It was tough. It was very tough. I hadn't played for like 5-6 days straight just because the tournament's coming up and that means I'm having to pick up more work to like try to fund it and stuff. So I like ended up working in between stuff like a 63-hour week, and I was my soul literally out of my body. Halloween spirit, Ghostbusters energy. I was just gone. But I did play a lot these last couple days because I did miss the game. I wanted to hop back into it. And overall, I'm still loving this patch, man. I feel like things feel a little bit more balanced. As a jungler main, best in play, I feel less pressure to kind of immediately just like try to put the not jungler necessarily, although I do that a lot, but the carry behind because I know their scaling is slower anyways now. So it's kind of like inherently taking a weight off my shoulders, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, understandable.
That's my like jungle perspective on it. Wolfie, how's it been in the solo lane? Because I want to know like how many carries over the course of this week have you now seen in solo?
I want to say like under 20, and I've been playing like my normal hours, 30-40 hours a week. I want to say under 20, and
a lot less
when they're there. So much less.
Okay.
And when they're there, it's level 1. They don't feel like they do much, so you pick a fight, which is great. But then once it hits like level 5 and 6, you can start to feel them as an ADC. But by level 5 and 6, if you're smart, you're building defense. It kind of like there was one game where I didn't build defense, and I could feel the pain from them. And then I was building defense on the same character in the next game, and getting that chance to just build that defense up a little bit instead of just getting flat out screwed over at level 1, like it wasn't even a contest. They're hiding under tower all day because if they came out, I had the defense to fight them now.
Yeah,
so
that early.
It's a really good patch so far. Like it really discourages it. It's nice to see some other people that are taking melees, but I am starting to see a lot of like magical.
Mages. Yeah.
I'm starting to see like it's not even just that. It's magical tanks too. Like I'm seeing a lot of Sevs, a lot of Greystones, a lot of Shinbis.
like full magic damage takes, like
yeah, but they're going Fruit of Greed or they're going Mutant Poe. Like they have to. Like if they don't, then they're going to be behind.
You're seeing
tanks.
But I'm seeing tanks. But for some reason, they're all magical. Like I'm not seeing any Fangs or any Chimeras. I'm seeing so many Kwongs.
Yeah,
they're all magical for some reason.
It like kind of like pivoting off that point. I really feel like Fang and characters like Chimera are really good like starter friendly characters, and there's a reason we don't see them at like the higher competitive levels. And despite the changes made to carries and stuff, I feel like that is still just kind of true. I mean, you get a spell shield, which is good on Fang. You got mobility and stuff, but your ult, if I remember correctly, it's not based off the threshold of percentage HP. It's a fixed number.
Yeah, which sucks. And the fixed number is pretty much the same amount of damage that you do normally if you just use the ability. It's really only good against shields. Like if they're really low, and like Fanatics was a really good counter to Fanatics when everybody was going Fanatics, like literally everybody.
Every build everywhere.
Yeah.
It was like Fnatic. Because I mean, shield still to this day is like can be really problematic. But like backstepping, I don't feel like any like physical tanks. There's nothing that any of those characters like Chimera, like Fang Mao can bring to a fight that these other magical based tanks can't do better in a lot of instances. Like you want to stick to somebody and just like harass them, don't play Chimera, go play Kwong. The skill curve is going to be a little bit higher, but the value you get out of it is so much higher. And that's inherently like there's going to be a skill curve that comes with the different kits, right? And like how much you're going to be able to gain from those kits. But at the same time, it also, at least to me, feels like it is so much worth it. I would rather invest my time, like I'd rather invest 15 hours into being like really good or at least decent at this high skill cap character than invest 15 hours at being amazing, like top 3 at a character that's so easy to counterplay, right? Yeah.
I really think that we're going into a tank meta. ADCs are getting pushed out of solo. But like you said, mages. I have been seeing a lot of mages going back into the solo lane. I wonder if it's like ADCs were a bully to them early game, so they kind of get out, and then now ADCs are no longer there. They only have to deal with another mage or another tank. But yeah, I think we're gonna be like in a tank meta where tanks in the solo lane and tank and I mean the class, not the build. Like tanks in the solo, your Sevarog, Adele. Those kind of characters, and then tank in the jungle, or maybe warriors in the jungle, but definitely going more on the tankier side.
No.
That's kind of already the play in like competitive, like league and stuff, but
mm-hmm.
in the casual sense, I think we'll start getting to that point.
I don't know. Okay, so like kind of talking and expanding on that a little bit. I'm a little bit sad. I'm mildly disheartened that I felt like we never really got to see a true assassin meta.
Yeah.
Like we saw Xena be really good, but it was just Xena. Like it was just like it's like, oh man, assassins are crazy. I'm like, no,
there's like
just Xena.
There's like a brief moment. I don't know if you guys remember, like Kalari got buffed. Like her
Yeah.
ult, when they first touched
Yeah.
her ult, and made it like, wow, that's like insane. And then the next patch they nerf her. So there's like a brief moment where she was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to see a point where like these high risk like commit characters are rewarded, because as much as people, like me and Wolfie both agree that Xena is to a degree a pretty easy character, right? Not trying to like insult Xena mains or anything, but fundamentally she's an easy character, but she does require you to a degree to all in commit on a character. You're utilizing that dash a lot of time to engage, and that's it. Like you're now in that fight, whether it's a 1v1, whether it's favorable, whether it's not. I kind of was okay with Xena outside of like competitive and stuff, because it was borderline oppressive in some states, but we also saw at the highest play levels, like she didn't get picked up that much, but she like got out prioritized by people like Kwong, for example, into the jungle.
For assassin, she's definitely the most picked in competitive.
Yeah, as far as assassins go, number one. But like I kind of want to see a reward to these commit characters, like Kalari without her ult. Like sure, she pops you, but she's an assassin. That's what she's going to be doing. She's looking to get picks to set up better team fights for the future, because it's like a scale for me. Like assassins are looking to get picks to set up better team fights and better engages for their team when they are going to be looking to be playing around those objectives. However, like those tank and warrior picks into the jungle just allow you to maybe get a pick, but you're not really bursting people down, but you can force people to back. And in team fights, you can also be an engager.
A lot more appeal too.
Yeah, and a lot more appeal. So you don't have all of those things kind of contributing to your team and your team fight, as well as your objective secure as an assassin. So, like for me at least, it's okay if we have characters or subject to characters in the game who are good at just popping a person. I know you as that person, it may not feel good, but that is what they're supposed to do. And I am a jungler main, so I'm biased.
No, I agree. That's how they should be.
So,
how's
how's the patch for you?
It's good. I like it a lot. I really do. I've always complained about solo being squishy. I like having my frontliners as a caster and as an ADC. They just provide so much more in a team fight and peeling. But yeah, as far as like ADC goes, because they're the ones that got hit really hard, I feel like it's fine. It's definitely a slower grind to get to that stage, but when you get to that stage, you're still like a carry. When you get to that stage,
you still hit like a train.
Dude, I had a Rev game and I put it on YouTube. It was insane how much damage this guy still does in this game. I was like, full build, got everything online, and then I was just running around like with 2 bullets in my my gun. So I
someone's life.
Yeah, I was like, I would hit somebody for like 900 damage with the regular basic attack, and then or that might be a crit, either one. And then I'll get a stack on my crit to get a little more crit. And then that final hit will hit for like 18 to 2k damage late game on a squishy. But he was just like super crazy late game, which is like,
I think if they're gonna make a pass at something, it's gonna be a pen, because I know pen works on everybody, but the issue with pen is if they do touch it, they're gonna hurt assassins so much. Kalari and Xena would get hit so hard if they took those away.
He's really the only one that can build that like flat pin. The other ADCs are more going like tack speed and pen shred and stuff like that.
Merchants.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I think the builds are still going to be crit, even though it got nerfed. We'll see though whenever we have like tournaments. When's your next match, by the way? Your next league match?
Our next league match is this Saturday at 8 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. CST. It's going to be Duality, which is led up by Veteran, versus Microcosm, which is led up by Skillo on the OPL, Overpowered Esports.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how these guys are building like in that competitive scene, what their build path is, but. Yeah, ADCs, they still can do their thing. They're not so strong early game. And then for mages, they really didn't get touched that much. But so I feel like mages are kind of good as well.
I'm kind of excited to I like kind of expand on that. I'm kind of excited to see the build pathing for that as well, because for like it felt like in the Tion Invitational, one of the more recent tournaments, we saw a lot of, okay, your first item is going to be either jewelry box or a crossbow, or and it was always one of those two items into Electric Stone, and I want to see if that does change the competitive sense. Like if people are going to be looking to get maybe more safety oriented items on earlier and slot out things like crossbow, or like merchants in favor, like fanatics might make a reappearance, since you're going to be a little bit more vulnerable within those earlier stages. And not only that, but like I've been talking to like some of the players as the tournament's coming up, and there's a lot of new technology, like is what they call it, with this patch. And it's not just based in items, but also based in the use of karmas and stuff. So I do think in the following weeks, as we get like more competitive games, we are going to see some pretty interesting stuff. But Wolfie, I wanted to kind of ask you, because I do feel like if they might, like you hit on a really good point of like, if they take a round and a hit at pin, then it really feels like it's going to hurt assassins. Like assassins do seriously get hurt, but more concerning with than that, I think if they take a hard enough hit at pin, warriors and tanks are just going to become the most obnoxious things on the planet. Like we already have protection in the game. If I'm getting ran down by a Kwong with pro and my pin doesn't work anymore, I'm going to fume. I'm going to lose my mind, bro.
It might also hurt some other characters. Like if Fang can't build pen, he's not going to feel too good. Grux needs pen too. He's not going to feel good. So like, then it would absolutely be a tank meta, right? Which would, a lot of people have an issue with that because it slows the game down. But it's like, I don't think that like someone like Rev is unique. He can have pen. But like when I see a Twin Blast running around with the Kima cannon, and I'm just like, you're running around with pen, even though you're Twin Blast, you're supposed to like kind of capitalize on that triple tap crit, the attack speed as well, and you're running around with the Kima cannon. It's like, it's weird. It doesn't, like, Rev's identity is that he has pen. Twin now has pen now, and I thought his was attack speed and crit.
Well, they're both like they're both like percent pen, and I think with the Kima cannon, it's more of like it's cheaper, and you get a 10 CDR, but the passive is you can peel for yourself by constantly right clicking on them when they're jumping you.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it too much. I still think Chainsaw is better, especially with these like super healthy tanks that are going to be popping up. I think Chainsaw is just a better option there, especially with the amp in there.
I think after this patch, we are going to see kind of a reemergence of how do I describe this? A little what some people call in a little toxic, but like a little bit more lane sitting, especially since these assassins just generally aren't as good as they used to be. For me, Kalari without the double jump, I still play the character sometimes and stuff because but it is not what it used to be. Like this is not the lifestyle I signed up for initially. But I do think as far as like playstyles going, I would like to kind of see in a way a return of normality onto like sitting on these apex lanes, is like to call them, like the ones that are going to produce apex predators if they get a lead, and having to force like 2v2 fights between like, and we've seen this a lot in like Smite Cordy, like the jungler makes a rotation after picking up mid camp to mid, and it's just a 2v1 to share a 2v2 to share that lane pressure a little bit. I would like to see kind of a return to that, because right now we're in a state in game with assassins being in kind of worse state. It's that we're seeing a lot more invading instead of like lane pressure. It feels
it's really hard to like have that split, because in Smite you share gold. In this game you don't get any gold at all if you don't get a last hit, so it's really hard for them to lane share like that.
But like ultimately, I would like to see a little more like lane, like my job as a jungler being lane pressure, because as someone who plays jungler a lot, I feel almost pressured to just stay in my jungle and like build a CS lead or invade heavy and take a gold lead from them, because I'm like, I need my smite to be better. If I fall behind, the game is over.
Item, like, I hate that item so much.
It's just like, if my smite's not better, I fall behind. So even if I do like kill the enemy team like mid laner like 2 times, I'm looking at the level. They're level up because they just kept farming. They got an invade off of my red within that time. Yeah, we made a rotation over to the garden, but we weren't able to safely secure it because they're up, and the pressure diff isn't really there quite yet. So it's like, I need to farm to get this diff, and I need to steal from you in order to really establish this diff. And I would like to kind of see, and that this could happen through like improving assassin kits, but also just changing around the itemization a little bit more. But as you said, like pin is already good, right? So I honestly don't know what the easy answer is for it, but I kind of would like to see a return to that more. Like your job is to help apply pressure in lanes instead of like I'm just hardcore farming simulator for like an extended period of time and looking for invades.
So, so late game, I wanted to get your opinion on this, Wolfie. Late game, how do you feel? I know early game we talked about early game, hunters being, or sorry, rangers being a little bit weaker, and so you're not really seeing them much in the solo. But like late game, when you start making those rotations, like mid to late, and you have your tanky items on the new buffed ones, like have you encountered people building crit, and you like how do you feel when they're building crit?
Typically, I usually build anti-crit high end. That's like a staple. That's for people
Just
because crit
shit
is
on-
king on ADCs.
Shit on ADCs.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to stop them from hitting me as hard. But now, but since they hit the ADCs, I feel like they're rushing attack speed more. So I am definitely starting to incorporate some attack speed, like anti-attack speed, into my build.
Like
at most it's like 2 items. It'll be like the frozen hands, and then there's I'll probably get berserker helm because I need some magical defense too.
That's slow too, though.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
But other than that, like I thought, like when this patch came out, I figured I'm like, oh, they're not scaling as fast, so they're not going to hit as hard. So they're probably going to go for attack speed to make up for the difference of them not hitting hard. So I'll just run anti-attack speed. I found myself like not doing as well. I stuck with what I've been using, and I'm starting to tank more. I like the double ADCs. I think there was a game me and Cordy played where they had 2 ADCs, and I had 3 anti-attack speed, anti-crit, and hailing. And I was tanking a lot more than I was before, and I think it was because of that anti-attack speed changes. Yeah, because they're still gonna hit like a train anyway, and I think both of the ADCs had chainsaw in general, so I was screwed either way.
I feel
but
like
the fact that they were shooting a little slower really helped me.
Yeah, when I was playing, I played Rampage and Crunch in the jungle, and I just felt like I could not be killed late game. Like as Rampage, I was just in there, man, destroying their ADCs.
Yeah,
it just feels. I like tanky. It's fun, man, just to get in there and cause havoc.
Yeah, and I do want to also say, like, I spent like a couple minutes talking about like how I feel about assassins, but pivoting away from that, I agree wholeheartedly, Cordy. Warriors and tanks in the jungle feel so good right now. They feel so good, especially Crunch with that new buff that he got.
I don't know why they got a buff, man.
Bro, I don't either, but I am capitalizing it, bro. I'm like 2K off the mastery. I'm like, dude, welcome to the Mile High Club. Can I see your Southwest passport? Because you are stuck in the air, dude. We're putting people in the ozone, like dash in, knock up, cycle the 1 onto them, hit them with the ult for a little shred, or just hit them with the double knock up.
Speaking of Crunch, I don't know if you guys have encountered this yet, and I don't think it hasn't been fixed yet, but there is a bug with Star's Grace where it doesn't go on cooldown.
I heard about that.
I ran it one time, and late game Crunch, his ult is like 8 seconds, and the immunity is like for 2.5 seconds or something. So you pretty much like late game have immunity on your ult nonstop.
That's also not counting the fact that every auto attack takes off like cooldown right off of the top of that ult.
Yeah.
So you're literally just perma unable to be CC. Like it's just like no.
Even without that bug, I think Star's Grace is kind of going to be replacing the scissors. I think it's what's called blacksmith scissors.
Yeah.
Just cheaper. You get the same cooldown, I think same defense, a little bit less health, but the immunity is just so good whenever you team fight for 2.5 seconds.
Yep. And it's like truly untouchable. Like it also like nullifies rewind off the top of it as well. And so I haven't actually built it in a game just because it is based off of it's based off of a bug. So I kind of felt bad like when I found out about it. I was like, I could, but it's for me, it's not the character as it's intended to function.
Yeah.
So like if we were like doing like a scrim and stuff and Wolfie like got the gang together, trust and believe, bro, Prof is catching this off cooldown knockup. Just boo, boo, boo. But I haven't ran it in an actual game. And one thing I do like about Crunch is you're like normally able to build him damage oriented early, Vamp Sword, normally I get Spirit's Fang first. If I'm really fragging out, I'll like pivot over into my auto spray. But then his health scales incredibly well. Like I normally go dual moons, third items, and then if someone's causing problems, I'll go a part of Zymia's and like finish out like a high end, then bounce back to Zymia's because his scaling is really well. I feel and you guys can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think this is the best crunch has ever been across every iteration of Paragon. Like vintage Paragon, older, this one I've played them in.
Like you mean just character design?
Yeah, character design, and as far as like how good he feels, this is my favorite time I've ever played Crunch.
I try to remember how Crunch felt. How was he in old Paragon? I don't remember anymore. It's been so long.
I have no experience with that. I know the only thing I think my biggest gripe with Crunch is his dash is just so clunky. I had a game today where I was Crunch and I tried to dash towards an ADC, and because of the clunk, the ADC moved to the left, and I'm still in the animation going past him. I turn around to re-dash at him. He does the same thing, and I'm still in the animation. Like, can't cancel it. I can't like time it right. It's just so clunky for me. It could be just a skill issue, to be honest. But I don't know. It just doesn't feel as smooth as all the other dashes.
You also play like on the U. Is it? Maybe that was the thing. You're playing on the U.
No, I was on an A. I don't have that excuse. So
he's like, I wanted to have the ping diff for him, but I didn't. For me, the dash is it is a little bit clunky, but okay, hot take. It feels like it kind of needs to be. I mean, it feels clunky a lot of time because his frame is so big, and literally like the tip of Bellica's rifle could be intermingling with your frame, and his whole body like stops and stuff. And I think that if you didn't have like, you know, for example, like if the hitbox on the Paragon first dashing out was only on like his fist when he was throwing it out, then it would be almost too easy to disengage because for me, it's primarily an engage tool. And if you're in a crowded space with this character, like let us not forget, he's a warrior. You shouldn't be able to disengage that easily. You are an initiator for your team. You're able to get some really good damage off. You're able to provide really good lockdown, peel, and all these things. And if his escape also became too easy or too smooth oriented around like where his hitbox was, I feel like that might push him to just being not too strong, but even better when he's already in a place where he feels really good. So I do agree. There are times when I dash out and I'm like, what if that catch me on? And like the curvature of Countess's ass that just locked fucking pissed off Wally down. And I'm
not to mention like the map itself. How many times do I blink into a pillar because the hitbox of the pillar is there, or I dash into a staircase and I'm just going into the stairs. I'm not going up them or around them. I'm just going in them. So it's probably just that other issue too.
Now, speaking of characters.
Well, before we get into the character, one more little small thing that I wanted to get into was the karmas, because we kind of went over the characters and items and things like that.
That's true.
But the karmas, so, you know, whenever we're playing on patch day, we still saw a lot of pain, right? That's the big topic of conversation in the community was pain. Now that has been like a week, have you guys like experienced a lot of pain? Have you guys been using pain a lot? What is it like for you guys with that item?
I refuse to use pain because I don't want it to be a crutch for me. But I would say I've been seeing a lot of demos. I've been seeing some weekends too. I'll either see like a weekend demo combo, or I'll just see like a blink demo. Demo's always there. It's always on somebody, or at least the majority of the team.
Man, that slow is nuts.
And people are using it in weird ways. I see like the jungle go to somebody, teleport to them, and demo them so that they can't leave. And I'm just like, I would use it when I'm fighting, like mid-fight, like just to get an advantage. Like if I'm losing the fight, that's when I'd use it. But these jungles, they just jump, demo, and you're just crippled. You can't move.
So
that slow is nuts, bro. Was it like 50% or something?
Yeah, it's like 50.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So demo for me is primarily like as a jungler, I like oriented like this. Demo for me is primarily like number one, it's a kill tool. But right after that, it's a CC tool more than it's a team fight tool for me. Like if I'm in an instance, for example, where like I'm fighting a Chimera in jungle, I'm like on Kalaria or whatever, and my invis on like 4-second cooldown, you know, I'm losing the fight, I need to get out. I will try to create distance to proc out the jump. And the moment he jumps on me, I demo and just try to create space because I know you don't have a way to get to me, especially quickly. I got this slow on you, so I'm going to be able to create space. And with that space, knowing your stuff is on cooldown, if you enter sprint mode, I'm going to be able to knock you out of it and just disengage. And you can use that across onto so many encounters and stuff because the slow, like you said, Cordy, is insane.
55%.
Like the slow is insanely good. Also, the fact that you can proc it while in animation for other abilities is why it's primarily a kill tool for when I play Kallari. Like, you could be breaking my ankles and I'll just be like, I'm done here, and I'll ult you so you're locked out, and then I'll click demo.
Yeah.
Because like I could just get it off, and that damage does jump and scale. It's not off the beginning of the casting. Your attacks just go up with demo now.
Should that not be a thing? Because like using karmas while you're casting an ability, that could be a pretty decent nerf, I think, to karmas.
Yeah.
Not
I don't
cast
know.
abilities.
You
like,
can you can do it with smite too. Like if you Kallari ult somebody, and the jungler, you can like smite the objective out for him though.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird because I know Purge. When you pop Purge, it stops your basic attack. I know because the amount of times it screws my Kwang combo because I'm purging their pain and I can't knock them up now, and I have to restart the animation to knock them up. That animation thing is on Purge. I know I don't know if that's just a Purge thing or maybe they forgot to code that. So if they did do it, it would probably feel a lot worse. To be honest, I think they have to keep it the way it is.
Yeah,
that's
I think it
karma
contributes to fluidity.
That's a karma that we don't really see a lot of. I think Purge might be really good, especially with the demoralization coming out and the weekends. Like really, honestly, I've been seeing a lot of pain, and the people that do pain, I'm like, all right, dude, that wasn't really affected. I've been running a lot of protection as well, so I'm just like, okay, whatever. Pain didn't do anything, but Purge could be a really good karma that we don't see a lot of.
It throws people off their game. Like when somebody like I've been seeing like demos and pains too. So he'll demo me and he'll pain me right after, and I'll purge both, and then they just completely, the hamsters in their head stop moving. They have no idea what to do because they can't just cheese me and kill me.
But yeah, you're also like immune for 2.5 seconds to any kind of other.
To any CC. I use it like to close the gaps on ADCs. Like if I jump on a Murdoch, he's gonna knock me back, right? So I jump on him, I'll purge, and then he just doesn't knock me back, and now he's mine. So, but then that depends. Maybe end game that's more worth to do that, but early game I think purging just one knockback to get a kill is probably not. You should save that. But
so in my opinion, Cordy, the reason we don't see Purge as much, and the thing is, we used to see it, right? Like I think during the Cordy Cup as well as like at the time when we were like doing like.
Out.
It was a lot of like purges. It was really good, but then later they released Silence, and purges fell off the cliff because it's like, all right, in the instance where you feel like you can need purge the most, the fact that you could be silenced and often needing it, and that's for like locking in that CC. Like for example, like if a crunch ults in on you, and not a crunch, if a steel ults in on you and you get caught in that knock up and stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna purge so I don't get the second knock up. He's silencing you after that. Like we saw it with Aurora 2 previously, especially when her like the range of her ult was a little bit bigger. Like you're like, oh, we run purge to stop Aurora, and then Silence got introduced into the game. And she hit him with the shut up, just like shh. No. And like I feel like there are situations that call for teams to like go back to it, and we do see them do that sometimes, but it just gets out favored by so many other things, and I think primarily protection, because why worry about being anti-CC'd out of something? So like if someone CCs you and you're not actually under that much threat because they don't have the damage potential, it's like, okay, well I use that karma for nothing. I feel like protection gives you a little more reactivity, especially since you can use it whenever. So if someone like gets some CC off on you and then you see TB rolls up and he's like, then you can like pop your protection once you have like developed the threat analysis that, okay, I do need that security in this moment.
Also,
wow.
Also the damage reduction too. People forget about that. You do get damage reduction whenever you pop it.
But yeah, overall, okay. So like we're rewinding because we went off over the protection. Like rewinding on my opinion on pain.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a hot take, and I'm low key gonna get so much hate for it. You guys are gonna need a co-host. I think people need to get over pain. I do.
I agree too. I completely agree. It's not that
get
great.
over it. It's not, bro. Don't get me wrong. It is an amazing karma, bro. It is good. There are times for it where, and I understand the feeling of getting cheesed by it, but let's keep it $1 here. If let's say you're in an encounter where like the Twin Blast is running you down, I'm using him because he's the poster boy of the game. He's getting a lot of damage across to you, and you're like, oh man, I survived with 3 HP. Yeah, let's do it. I did it. It's like, okay, then he pains you. And it's like, you are a little bit at fault for putting yourself in a situation where you are that low and not playing safer once things were going that downhill or securing the win for yourself. We have karmas that counteract pain, multiple karmas that counteract pain. We have karmas that prevent pain from being procced. We have healing built into the game. We do have anti-heal options for that now, but we're not going to touch on that. We have shields that can be offered that cannot be countered, that come from karmas and characters. We have mitigation stats. We have so many ways to counter around pain. I feel like it is good, but it's not worth complaining about. It's just a natural part and function of the game.
You got to be like really low this time around. Like with this, you have to be really low because I've tried it multiple times when it first got nerfed. You got to be really low for it to be effective. So if you're not playing around it, if you're not looking at the enemy karmas and playing around it, like it gets to the point where it's like it's a non-factor for me anymore. I just been going.
I think most of the rage from pain comes from like you're fighting your lane or you're in a bout and you barely kill them and you're weak, right? And then here comes the 0-6 Chimera out of the bushes who just pains you and runs away. That's probably where the rage comes from. I know it does to me. Like I'm fighting the solo lane, we're both tanks, we're pretty, and when we fight, we have to fight for a minute straight because we're beefy. So I finally get the kill, and I'm about to go back, and then Kai just comes over and pains me, and I'm just like, "Really, Bell? You just drive by me like that? Like you can't just come over here and smack me?"
Honestly,
they really did hit you with the pain gat. Like that's
speaking
crazy.
Speaking of the Chimera, I really like if I have been running pain or when I was running pain, it was mainly like stopping someone's anti-heal or healing.
Yeah,
it was less about doing damage. That's a bonus, but it was more of like I'm gonna pain him now. That way I can fight him without having any kind of like lifesteal. So it's kind of transitioned how I've been using pain if I do run pain, but a lot of the times it's in protection.
So also, like one thing I do want to touch on is I've brought this up before, and I think overall karmas would get a lot more balance. And somebody's going to be like, "Well, there is that effect in the game," and I'm going to be like, "Well, it's not noticeable." If there was a degradation effect on karmas, because I'm not going to expose you guys. I'm not trying to get you guys bullied out, but I've seen you both run double pain in the dual lane. I've seen you do it, Wolfie. I've seen you do it, Court. Like
it was a one-time thing. I was weak. I'm sorry.
Because you're like, oh man, I don't use pain. I'm like, well, Butt Hugger 46 felt that was a lie.
That was like first. That was before the buff, and it doesn't stack by the way. You have to like.
It doesn't.
You have to like, but he continues it.
I think a degradation effect on karmas would actually be really good. So for example, like recovery, I've seen that like at the time where the team Overrated was playing a lot, they came into a strat that like almost broke the OPL. Like it was insane because they would just run 5 recoveries plus a healer. And in team fights, they were basically like, yeah, we have a second health bar, even if you have anti-heal, because they would all hold the recovery for those big team fights that matter. I'm talking about prime fights. I'm talking about, fights around spirit, pushing lanes, pushing on the inhibits and stuff. They'd be able to dive pretty easily with it. And it brought to me the thought that I think there needs to be a degradation effect of karmas within like a 5-second threshold of that effect ending. So for example, if you catch a recovery heal, the next time you catch a recovery heal, it is that heal is deducted by 20% if it is used within like 5 seconds. Same with pain. The damage you take from it should be lowered to a degree. If you use protection, the amount of shielding you can receive off the back of it after 5 seconds is hit 20%. And I think that would also like help reduce how oppressive protection plus Muriel can feel in a lot of instances, especially since for a time, and I think they patched it out, but the mitigation for protections carried over to her shields too, and it was just like, what am I fighting for, bro? Why am I here to suffer? But I think an effect like that could be super useful, especially with silence as a jungler. Like initially you're catching that silence for 2.5, you have it again, now you're going to be catching it for like 2.1. After that, it's going to be like 1.6 because I feel like, especially at a competitive level, it's not as much as a quick play issue because you're not coordinating, but at a competitive level, stacking karmas can be really problematic. And I feel like if they just off the rip, we talked about it last week, I thought that the support nerf was a really good preemptive nerf to keep them in check going forward, especially with the new itemization. I think they should do that exact same thing with the degradation of karmas, in my opinion, Cordy.
Yeah, I really want them to bring karmas in game rather than pick them outside of lobby. I want to be like in game, kind of like Smite's relics, where you pick your one and then at level whatever you get another one. See, there's a little more counterplay to that with the karmas, but eventually I think that'll go that route. It's kind of weird doing it in every game.
Yeah, karmas should be counterplaying other karmas, not just cheesing somebody. Like I definitely like Smite's route with it. Have it like you can't buy the second one until like what, level 12 or something.
Yeah.
It's nice. Like you only have to deal with the one karma.
Which
You
is
don't
probably
have to
gonna be
deal
like
with
blank
that.
for a lot of people. And
Yeah,
so, like,
you're not going to
ahead.
deal with the double cheese effect of weekend and demo or demo and pain. Like you don't have to worry about that.
Destruction. So
Yeah.
really be
So
that
Speaking of-
solo.
it might be a good route.
Speaking of karmas, while we're on the subject, might as well not planned for it, but should destruction be removed from the game?
I hate that fucking karma. Like since the beginning of I played this game, I've hated it so much, man.
Mhm.
If you have a new jungler and they don't understand the concept of like destruction,
Yeah.
then it just
get
ruined.
hindered.
Or if someone else picks it while you're in the pre-lobby, then it just
You've lost every objective.
you lose like automatically
Yeah.
before even the game matters, before the picks matter, before your build matters. You just automatically lose because someone's new and they picked two karmas that have destruction.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate the
and-
karma so much.
I feel like it would be more exciting not to have it, Wolfie. Like for me, like not having it could be much more exciting. It forces your team to kind of play the space more like a MOBA. Okay, we need you guys to defend, and not just like the bushes. We need you to keep those characters like Gideon who could blink it and drop a rock for 1,000 away from the prime pit. We have to lock down specific pits now before we engage outside of just the jungler. So I feel like overall, wow, my eyeball just itched, guys. That was weird. I think something's wrong with me.
You got to do something different to it though. Like you get rid of the destruction part, but you keep or like the smite part, but you keep like the extra damage for the jungle. Then what else? Like then at that point, like it's good that you're doing extra damage, but when it comes to late game, that karma just kind of falls off super hard. There's no point to it. So you got to do something different with that item.
If they took destruction out, assassins would actually play like assassins in the end game. Like, when it gets to like at level 17, level 18, you're just Glory, stay behind me. Don't move. Don't let them hit you with anything. Let me get it low and then show up and press one button.
It's my favorite time to play. It's like Protect the Precedent. It's great.
Yeah, so like maybe she could actually go behind and be an assassin, get a good pick, maybe pick the caster, pick the ADC, and then we just have to kill the team, get the objective. So like it could be a good thing, but I definitely like it's this is the only MOBA that has Smite, right? Does League have Smite?
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know. I don't
maybe
play it.
somebody in chat knows about smiting in League because they do take a lot of influences from League of Legends rather than Smite.
So it's a tricky balance though. Like it really is good for securing objectives. It punishes people. Like just today, I was Wukong going for Prime. The jungle showed up, said hi to me, and pressed the smite button on the Prime and got it from me. Here I am, just trying to help my team, and I just hurt my team. So it kind of punishes like.
That's the annoying part too, right? Like if you want to make a play, like that they're doing the objective, and you want to go make a play, you're like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go commit suicide so I can try to get this objective. Well, there's no point because they could just get destruction. They can destruct it before you even like.
It's also like I kind of so like here's my take on it that I kind of would like to see. And someone brought up a really good point previously that I agree with. I miss when Smite could do damage to people.
I don't need another pain in the game, bro.
No, well, it wasn't a pain. It wasn't like a tick, and it also wasn't true damage. It was a set amount of like first CC, and then they just made it damage that you could do with the itemization. However, you had to pour 2,400 gold into it. You got the baby iteration of it, which was your little. Yeah, it was an item. You got the baby iteration of it, which was like a little jungler item that could smite objectives and stuff. However, not until you got it to tier 2, which was like 1,000 or 1,200 gold later, I think, could it actually smite people, and that wouldn't give you the HP back. It would just do damage. So your ganks would be a little bit better off of that. But then when you got maxed out, it did that damage, increased on value, but also on top of that, also rewarded you that health. So it was an item that you were kind of building into. And for me, at least, I feel like that is almost perfect, but for them to do it right, they would need to add like 4 new items into the game. And then because you're like, you can't have the guy, you can't have Kalari building the same item that a Rampage jungle is going to want to build, right? Or a Shinbi jungle or a Countess jungle. And the thing is, they had 2 different iterations, which was like an assassin one and a mage assassin one. And so you would build into one of those 2. And, the mage one gave you a little bit more mana back when you were hitting minions. And I thought it was in a really good spot. And if they keep the reduction, like if more than one person has that itemization, unlike with the karma and Cordy, in my opinion, it doesn't keep people trapped, right? You're like, okay, Wu is new. He also built the last item. Well, guys, sorry, sell it off, get something else. That way you at least have options. I do think if you take it out, it becomes so many hurdles of like how to fix this or how to arrange it or how to make it playable again without breaking your game. But I do think that older system, I at least was a fan of, and I think
I like
it
the
could have just
gemstones.
been polished on.
I miss those starter items. It was kind of
Mhm.
fun.
I do.
Like that
I
direction.
like the gems. They were like part of the reason I didn't like Smite is that every time I was picking a fight with somebody, they had
Mhm.
something to get them out, like one relic to get them out, like whether it was beads or it was
Yeah,
something to just like or Aegis
My
or,
alerts
or
are
like
on.
on
Fuck.
top of the CC immunity on their ults and all that crap, or the damage immunity on their ults. That stuff drove me nuts. And then I saw them adding karmas, and when they came out with the first batch of karmas, it was adjustment period, but it was fine. It was decent. And then they came out with the second patch, which is like where the demo came in. And I don't know if Pain was. I think they brought in Pain too. Like they brought in stuff that is almost like a fifth ability, whereas everything else was a tool to either help you get a kill or get the kill or get out. Now it's a fifth ability, and it's I don't know. I definitely liked the gems before, but
Yeah, I miss the gems. It kind of also gives you like just a direction where you want to go, right?
Yeah.
It gives you a boundary or like a platform to start, kind of thing.
I didn't miss how everyone like it became so easy to be like, this is the best one, right? Like this is the highest point. Like everyone just ended up running like green gem, with the exception like some characters like Twin Blush or Sparrow were running black one for the extra attack speed to get that scaling and stuff. I do overall think it like was a good item and just generally made the playthrough and like as you said, Cordy, the direction that you wanted to take your character evident for stuff. But I don't know. I feel like there is ways they could improve upon it. And the way that the game is going currently, I think there's a lot of ways that they can improve upon it, including like taking out maybe destruction, for example, and putting those starter items back in, because starter items are something the community wants. And not only that, but kind of on top of that, how do I say this without tilting the shit out of the community or the devs? I feel like there's this is going to be one of the first ones that might get me cooked.
This is our very first like hot take, like actual.
It's not a hot take, but this is me talking directly to the devs, and I'm already like, man, I don't want to ruin the good thing we have.
They do a lot of great stuff, just to be honest.
They do. Yeah, they do great stuff. I'm still crochet line here. What they did to her was unnecessary. I didn't have to jump Elsa like that, bro. She was trying to do her own thing. There is no excuse. There is zero excuse with the addition of 10 plus karmas into your game and the problems that not only one of those karmas, but a character in the game, as well as various itemization for months have caused through shields, that we do not have a shield breaker karma.
Yeah.
There is no excuse in the world I could receive as to why we do not have that in karma form. If you tell me it's an item, fine, because then you have to make multiple variations of it and you have to balance the stats that those come along with, and that could be a lot of work, especially as you're doing other things. Sure. The fact that there is not an option for a shield breaker karma is unacceptable, dude. Like, as someone who watches a surplus of competitive content, Muriel has always been a valuable pick, but with Muriel and the addition of protections, it's just so frustrating, because my players and just players in general can bring a lot of stuff to me, and a lot of the times I can bring it to like, it's a skill issue. There's this option for counterplay. You can do this. But for shields in particular, my only option is like, why didn't you kill the Muriel rotating to lane from the sky? Why didn't you do that? Huh? Like, it's like there's no real counterplay I feel like you can offer, and with the addition of so many karmas, the fact that not one of them was a shield break item when Fanatics bullied the shit out of the meta for so long, it for me, it's one of those things where it's like, there's no excuse for you guys not to have this kind of added into the game, and it needs to be a thing that's in the game, and at the very least, it needs to be a thing that I need them to address. The game has a lot of issues and a lot of things that can be fixed upon it, but this feels like such an easy slam dunk. this feels like such an easy one that there should at least be like a development diary. We know shields are annoying.
Yeah, they should
we
do
know
that more.
we want some counterplay to it.
They should really do that kind of stuff. Like give us more insight of like what they're thinking in the back end. But I feel like we don't do it enough. And then like I know
I
we
still love you. Please don't yell at me.
and I know like they don't really. A cool thing that they should do is have like the main Overprime channel, because a lot of people they didn't get to watch Yin last night because Jon Snow was streaming it on his stream at super early in the morning for everyone. Like in US, we're sleeping. In EU, they're busy with other stuff, so it's like a limited amount of people that are watching it, and you can't go and review the VODs. So it's either like, I think me and Soul have the videos up, but we're staying up super late, and I'm already up anyways. But regardless,
man doesn't sleep. Can't confirm.
But regardless, like there's got to be some things where they can have their own Prime channel, have those kind of like showcasing, have like a little like Smite does it, even though if it's in like a different language, it's still something cool to have. But I guess it'd be kind of tough for a lot of people. But just kind of like what they do on YouTube, but do it, show a little bit more to the community.
Yeah. Just have it always rating somebody, right? Just have it set to where someone stream ends, it jumps over to this person. They can, they can't like choose like who to raid with it, because that could get into like a little bit of a weird thing where it could just jump between people. But just have like a timer on it. I know it's something that you could do. And I agree. It's just something that could be not necessarily super easy to implement, because especially for an official game, like an official like page thing that you're kind of putting on people, you don't want people on your platform that could be like a little toxic and stuff. So it would require pretty frequent moderation, right? Like you can't like have like me on the stream, right? Like a solo streaming. I know it's exciting, guys. It's gonna happen. I promise.
It will happen.
But I promise I will. I have plans. Like you can't have me just be like, bro, this thick neck looking Rhino man. Like you can't like have that. So it would require frequent moderation and somebody to just be like, boop, over to like somebody else if someone like misuses that. But it feels like one of those things that's a slam dunk. But I agree with what you said, Cordy, as well, because I would like your input on Wolfie. For me, for the most part, this team is doing like most things right at this point of the game for me.
They are killing it in the Paragon remake.
Yeah, like for me, they're doing most things right. Like they're not like putting a payment plan on the battle pass. That's not pointing at anything. That's a hypothetical. Not talking about anything in particular. They're not like spending, yeah. They're not spending 6 months on a UI update.
We can dive in there. I don't want to I don't want this podcast to be like shitting on Pred. Of course, like
I was afraid to
biased.
bring it up as a topic because
we're definitely biased, but yeah, what was that, bro? What was that decision, man?
Okay, so like I'm gonna ask you guys to like say stuff first, because I'm gonna pop off. Like
let me clear it up really quick for everyone that doesn't know what's going on with Pred. They did revert it, by the way. So it'd be stupid if they didn't revert it. Oh my god. But anyways, so they blocked they have a battle pass for every hero in the game, and one of the mastery skin is locked behind that. It was locked behind that paywall. So you have to spend $5 to get a mastery skin, which is pretty much just like a recolor from the other game, or they kind of did their own little design, whatever. But you have to grind to get that character leveled up, but you also have to pay $5 to get that skin, and that was per hero. So you just spend like what, $30 something, or there's 36 heroes in Paragon. So it's like, man, why was that like a thing, man? It's insane to me.
I don't know why.
All right, Wolfie, you cook, because Wolfie, you cook.
Okay, so putting $5 on a reused asset that's just a recolor of an original skin is suspicious. It's almost like you're fishing for money that you need to keep the servers going, which I'm not going to put words in their mouth, but like. But the fact that they did revert it probably, clears out that suspicion.
Yeah.
But I like it realistically, like in the board meeting before they sent that patch out, they said, hey, we want them to pay $5 for every character for the mastery skin.
Every character,
and it will go over well. It will slide under the radar. Nobody will have any problems with it. there's no way they're like there's no way that they thought that was okay. That has to get checked, and it got checked by the community, and they completely reverted it because of the backlash. So in my head, they said that they were going to come out with a token system that you can accrue over time, and then you could use that to unlock the paid route to get to the mastery skin. But like it's the effort for the mastery skin is the time you put in. Not buying to do the time.
It needs to be a result of your personal investment in a character.
I don't know why they thought of that or what they could do with that. I'm trying to think of like what was their route that they were trying to go with, but it just all points to Slimy. You know?
Shout out to the community, man. The community like body slammed them into getting it reverted, man. They would have like, I think that could have been done. Like if they were greedy with that would have been like, all right, fuck you guys, we're going OP. That would have been it for that community.
It felt pretty insane. Okay, so like my thoughts on it generally are like, I know that these are smaller games and they need funding to keep going. And unlike Soul Evo, man, it doesn't have like some mega company that's just like dumping money if they need it. And because of that, I feel like over on Paragon, there's a certain threshold of content they have to put out to ensure this game is going in the direction, because they do have access to that money. And one thing that I thought about, because I didn't want to let myself get caught up in the outrage, and I really thought about it as someone who, for the record, was originally a predecessor player. I bought the $100 version of the game. I was a pred player. I enjoy that game still. Like, I think the people over there are great. I think a lot of the content creators are awesome. Like, I've been invited to cast stuff for the PCC in the past and stuff. And it's been a lot of different things. But overall, before I say my piece, I want to say that I have a love for that game, and I also have a love for the players over in that game. It's just, I understand. Yeah, we're just disenjoying two different aspects of a MOBA. But for me, it was the audacity to be like, okay, we want you like down the road, like a little bit. Like, okay, you bought the game. Like, imagine I'm a day one player, such as myself. I bought the game. All right, sick. All right, then once you run out of that currency, spend $5 to unlock it. Like, spend a certain amount of money to unlock a character at a point, right? And it's like, okay, spend my real money to get a character. That's fine. I'm gonna get a lot of playtime and value out of that character. And I really like this character, so I'm going to invest in like that character's mastery stuff. It's like, okay, then also spend money on not just getting the character, but being able to master the character. And it's like, okay, cool. So at least like an XP bonus to grind? No. Also, now spend your 40 hours to get this mastery skin. Like, it is the combination of all that. I was like, okay, that seems like a little bit much. But then I saw some of the comments from the head dev, RGSA, Sarami. And I don't even play the game frequently anymore. I had never in my life been that insulted. I guess everyone's ignoring that we're entering a token system, huh? Like, these are real things he said. And it's like, in 5 months, the comments like, you can pay now or wait. I already spent okay. And then the one that really got me was, it's not a mastery system, it's an affinity system. I literally turned into KSI. I was like, I can't be bothered. I literally lost my mind. I like hands on the table. I'm like, that is so crazy to me that you would not only speak to your community with such a blatant degree of kind of disrespect, but the fact that this made it to the kitchen table, bro. You put this in front of me and said, that's what we're having for dinner. Get ready to cook. Like, it was kind of insane, but kind of backstep and pivoting a little bit. Big ups to the community for checking them for exactly what it was. And that it was a cash grab and stuff in a space where it should have been an easy W. And as someone who has, thought about, going and maybe making a little bit of pred content and, playing the game again more in between the time I have for Paragon, I personally won't, just because I already had some degree of trust issues with the company and some of their previous decisions. And now I just don't trust Ometa anymore, like, at all.
Yeah. That's the thing too. It's like this is one small decision, really. Like, I mean, it was a big decision, because of the outrage, but it's literally just a fucking mastery skin. But that small little decision that they do is like, man, what else are you guys gonna fuck up in the future? Like, what other things you're gonna bring to the table is like, this is a terrible decision. It's crazy. Like, so I don't want to spend. Or you have anything else to add to that, Wolfie?
Oh no.
No?
I was
Okay.
gonna say, what's the next topic?
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much on like talking that.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
reverted
yeah.
it. They definitely should definitely needed to. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, speaking of new heroes coming out and having to with the battle pass or whatever. I don't know. I was thinking about Smite. The God Pass. 100 how much never mind. But Yin,
Is
you
that
guys
Pepsi?
see?
We're not sponsored, bro. It's Pepsi.
Bro,
It's
why are you drinking that dumpster water?
Pepsi.
Okay, wait, move it on.
yeah,
That's
Pepsi's
not a topic. Stay on target.
Pepsi's like a weak version of Coke, man. How could
It
you?
literally is, bro.
Okay.
He's an
All right.
intellectual,
Listen,
bro.
We're talking about Yin, everybody.
Oh my god.
I'll
You guys-
start it off here.
You guys see
Okay.
her? You guys see Yin?
I saw the video. Yeah, I saw your video. Actually, I woke up to it. It was a nightmare. Seeing what they did with Yin. My personal take is that I refuse to believe that that's Yin, and I will not call her Yin. I'll call her Yang or something, because there's no way that
That's
you
a
take away
violation.
her deflect and her ultimate time-stopping ability. There's like those are like her traits. Like she uses wind and she can control. She stops time by pushing with the wind. It doesn't make sense like scientifically, but and like now because you ult, you can now use the deflect to capitalize on that with the ult and send a lot of, like it was a skill gap. It was fun. It was interesting. And now she throws a slow at you sometimes, and then sometimes she gets a little bit of a line attack. The ultimate by far is insane. That ultimate
looks
is
really cool.
going to scare all the 80s, all of
It
them.
looks really cool.
It looks great. But it's like a better Mako ult because it suspends you
Yeah.
for like up to 4 seconds, right? I think it is what you said.
Which is
have you guys seen that?
insanity.
Have you seen
Yeah.
like they just like levitate down?
Yeah.
They're like
Can they
slowly
even shoot?
falling.
Can they shoot back down? Like, can they look at you and shoot you while they're up there? I
I'm
don't think they
pretty
can.
sure I see them like on their backs as they're like floating down. I can't remember.
No, okay. But in reality, I'm thinking like you combine that with the steel ult. Now they get knocked up again, and then when they come back down, steel knocks them up again, or maybe
Yeah.
Gluck's ult. Like there's a lot of CC in the game already, but now you just gave it to an ADC who hits like a train. So
But so comparing
Oh.
her to, because I didn't play. I kind of stopped playing Paragon around this time. Like I didn't play Zinx, Yin, Terra. Kind of stopped playing
okay.
at that time. Comparing this kit to the old kit, which one is like better for the version of an ADC? Because when I saw the old kit, I really didn't feel like she was a good ADC, and that's what like she was classified as, right? A range or melee ADC or something.
I'm gonna keep it $1. I'm gonna keep it 100 pennies, approximately 10 dimes here with you. This character's kit, I might be an ADC main, and if I don't
It's
like the lane, I'm
fun.
taking her to the jungle. This is the sickest kit. Imagine, bro, into the mind
You're
palace with me, bro.
Spider-Man.
Let your third eye open. Literally, you're getting ran down by a pissed off ribbon dancer, bro. Yeah, bro. Indiana Jones, like gender bit, is in that ass, bro. And then you get hit with the slow, and you're like, please. And you use your blink to get up, and you turn around, and the Venom symbiote. Just like, dude, it's insanity how fun this character looks.
She looks super fun, man. I've never really like mained a character in any game, but whenever she comes out, I'm not gonna main her. I'm gonna play a shit ton of her though. Like
Dude, I'm gonna
looks
make
super
the
fun.
shit out of this character.
She looks so fun.
Also, my hot take is that I'm cooking with her in the jungle. Her kit has everything that I want as a jungler. It has good engage with the dragon. She has really clear, good slotted clear, because that line ability goes through everybody.
Yeah.
So the scaling on it early is going to be the best. But I mean, we compensate with an item or two. Also, not only that, but a AOE Rasengan Shuriken that you are going to be slinging at somebody absolutely goes insane. Not to count that you could also just throw it down at a point blank range. There's nothing that says I need to hit you with this from down the lane, bro. I might be getting a little active on you in the melee range, and now all of a sudden you're up in the sky looking like Twinkle Toes while I'm hitting you with the whip on like Django, still chained.
I like the animation, man.
It's so cool looking too, man.
Yeah, because he showed off Jon Snow, by the way, guys. He showed off the like just going through the training grounds and like showing off the abilities, and he untoggled Instacast, and she was just like there, just like powering it up. I was like, oh, it's so cool, man. She looks super fun. I like I said, I never played the old version. I never played any of these versions. I like the version now compared to the old version. I think the old version was more
probably
like,
wouldn't be able to. The old version probably wouldn't be able to hang, to be honest. Like with the way the game plays and the speed that it plays, there's no time to just sit there and deflect things or to use a. But like in the end, like I'm thinking like if a Howie ult comes out and then she goes into it, pops her old ult, and then reflects all the missiles, how cool that would be.
That would be really cool.
But like I don't know, I don't think it wouldn't hold up in the current game state of the game. I don't think.
But she didn't really seem like, just from like the overview of the old Paragon, she really didn't seem like an ADC, like a true ADC, right? Because that was her like, role, like she was meant to be an ADC, and that comes down to like, you know, Paragon had that old motto where it was like every 3 weeks there's a hero or something. So it wasn't, but I think this is a way better,
back-breaking for them.
Yeah. This seems like a way better version of that character, and she does look really fun. I don't think she's gonna be good. I don't think she's gonna be OP. She has a steroid. She has a disengage or engage. Her right click doesn't have amazing scaling. It's just like your basic attack does more. It's just like a slow or whatever. And then the ultimate, which is really, really weird, has 40% power scaling, but 200% magical scaling. That's the weird part.
Yeah.
So her ult doesn't do a lot of damage on the physical side, but it does, like, you know, provide good CCs and AoE team fight.
Do you think there's a chance this could be the first time we see a hybrid carry? Like a carry who like throws in like a magical item, like maybe like Vengeance or something, or Jealousy, in order to make that ult a little bit better?
Her ult has what, 200% scaling, you said?
Yeah, 200%.
Yeah, that's pretty. I'd dip into that a little bit.
I probably would, just like meme around. Like, I think she's going to be able to, you know, damage ADC crit. But I think I could definitely meme around with just going a full mage build, having like really low cooldowns on the ult, and just, you know, getting a massive ult on somebody. But that's all you can really do.
Put a little bit of a Margot stone on her, just like just, oh god, no.
Yeah.
I definitely think she's gonna be a little bit potent. She's got mobility, because like I tell my chat all this. I say Decker's the best ADC in the game because she's got a stun, mobility. Even though, you know, she's a support, she doesn't. The reason she isn't that other ADCs beat her is because she doesn't scale with attack speed like all the other ADCs do, right? Yeah. So realistically, the ADCs will come out on top. But now you have an ADC.
Let me rephrase that. We got to rephrase that. She's the safest ADC. Not the best ADC.
That's a good point.
I was in my head, bro. I was like, that's clipped.
No, best ADC. No, those other ADCs are way better. She will be. She is the safest. She has a slow and all that.
But now you're giving an ADC scaling. She's got mobility. She's got CC, and she's got a steroid. It's like you're giving her everything Decker has, but now you're giving her the scaling with the attack speed. So I don't know. We'll see. It depends on how she scales, or maybe she doesn't scale with as much damage as Murdoch or Twin Blast or something. But especially with the hit that they took, all the nerfs. I hope that the nerfs that they did to all the other ADCs apply to her too. I really hope they don't miss that. But I don't know, man. Weird, she's got everything an ADC wants. She's got everything.
She comes out just better than every ADC. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see it, and I do think there's a lot of potential to see her do some pretty cool stuff, man. Like, I'm expecting to see a couple mid lane ends, man, because it looks possible. She's able to play safe enough, but she's also able to close that distance and play relatively aggressively. The ult is good by itself, but in the team fight scaling into the late game, it's even better, bro. Saul Goodman, life is good, but it could be better. And I don't know. It's one of those characters I'm excited for because the character itself looks fun, and I'm ready to lose another 110 games with an 85% win rate to get that skin. Depending on how good if that mastery skin is sauce, it's over. It's over.
You didn't see it?
I saw it. I didn't see
it. Do yourself a favor and I don't know where you can look it up, but it looks really, really good.
I can't. I'm gonna lose. You guys are gonna lose me, bro.
It looks really good.
Yeah, you're gonna come into my cat casting and OPL game, bro, because I'm in here just come back here.
It's so weird that they decided to put magical scaling on her ultimate, and it's the highest like damaging magical ability in the game now. Morgesh was like 185 when she came out, which was the highest at that point, but now like 200%. So imagine like Morgesh damage on like, that's just nuts. But again, like, it's really just for the ultimate.
Would you guys like to see magical ADC, like a magical attack speed items, kind of like more like embodiment of vengeance, like a little bit more of those?
It'll make those other
I
characters better. Like, I mean, Wraith is really the magical ADC.
Yeah,
Last
but
time
if
we
they
did
add their
broke the
own,
game though.
yeah, well, yeah, that was Morganstone, but it's still there too. I think people just don't use it. I'd like to see some more attack speed items that give magical. I know maybe you throw it on like a warrior, a mage warrior. You know, for all you Adels out there that want to do instead of going Marauders Watch, you psychopaths. You go.
Item,
oh my god,
it's such a bait for new players. It's such a bait item. You read it, and you're like, it's the GOAT. It's not.
Okay, I will say though, Marauders Watch could be a play for Yin.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be a possibility.
He's already a Yin main.
He's
already a Yin main.
Right?
You can lower cooldown on your ult, and then because like as an ADC, you want power and attack speed. You don't really care for that for any other roles as like warriors and tanks or whatever. But it actually benefits her. More escapes, more steroid usage. I think her steroid gets nuts late game. And then just more of a I don't know. There could be a little build around that.
It'd be fun. It'd be nice to see, honestly, like some weird, interesting ways. Like that's why I kind of like Rev is like he's got a unique building path compared to the other ADCs. It's not just slam crit in their face. It's
one thing that like is popping in my mind that could possibly, if this works, it'd be nuts. So her whip, it gets extended for 4 seconds and it goes through people. If every single hit on a team fight procs Marauders Watch, how nuts would that be, dude?
Brother,
that'd be nuts if that actually works.
You'd literally cook up a whole team. It wouldn't matter. It would not matter. You'd literally just be like, I just took 27 seconds off my ult. By the way, it's back. Like,
that'd be nuts, man. I
actually hope it does. I would love to see some crazy shit like that. I would love to see like that type of item synergy.
Maybe they all proc with crit too. I'm sure it does. Actually,
no, it does.
Like,
it does.
Yeah, all the team groups up together. They all get steel ulted. She pops her steroid. She's critting everybody for 600-700 each, and it probably the life steal with it too. I didn't think about that.
I don't think if these items like proc on multiple targets would be kind of nuts. I don't think she's gonna be broken, but she is definitely gonna be fun. Like you're playing Spider-Man.
Yeah, dude.
Whipping in the air and fucking dropping.
Something disrespectful about backflipping off of an enemy too. I don't know what it is.
She is good. It's fun,
dude. It's such a get styled odd moment. I literally am gonna have to start streaming for this character because I need people to see my face when I jump off the edge of like through a fog gate or something, and you jump after me, and then in midair I go back up and I emote at you on my way out. Like it's the level of disrespect people are gonna read. I'm gonna catch Wushu in the solo lane on Wukong, and he's gonna go up and I'm gonna and I'm like, me too.
Go back here.
Dude, it's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be so much fun. But that's just
that.
My general thoughts on it. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for this character to come out because it feels like it's gonna like pump another level of like fun into the game. And I'm anticipating we're gonna be seeing that old mummy skin come out with her too, right?
Yeah, they didn't really tease that. When I was watching his stream, he was going through the skins and there were some items that got nerfed and stuff. I don't know the details, but when he went over her skins, it was just the one that we all saw or seen already, and then like that blue one with the long cap, and then the mastery skin. That was the only two that she had. But
yeah,
I don't know why they wouldn't bring that mummy skin back. They definitely should.
Yeah,
maybe they don't.
Maybe they're.
I'll tell you, they supplemented it for a booby skin. That's what it is. It's no more mummies, just booby skins.
That new skin they already teased her is gas out of my mind. That skin looks so good. I need this company to stop taking my money. I'm poor. My girlfriend's trying to eat, and she's wondering why I don't eat meals anymore. I'm like, babe, we have rations for you, and I have overprime skins.
I'll filter feed off air to stay alive.
Speaking of like the mummy skins, so I think we're kind of done with Paragon, right? We got the post patch.
Yeah.
Halloween's right around the corner. We got what? How many more days? 1, 2,
I think Saturday. Is it Saturday?
5? No, Tuesday, bro.
No. Yeah, it is next week. Okay.
What are you?
I'm sorry, I forgot what day it was. My bad.
But Halloween's right around the corner. Any plans for Halloween?
You go first, Tico.
I'm going to a wedding.
Oh, you said that right. I remember you saying that. Like they're gonna dress up though, right? Everyone's dressing up. Halloween theme.
Yeah. It's they have a theme for the wedding. They're like, everyone please come dressed up. It's gonna be a small event. We just want our close friends. I'm super excited to get invited. But they have this show going like in the invitation that I used to have like right behind me here. In the invitation, it's like we will not get married unless we have at least one person there dressed up as a gorilla, but you are not allowed to coordinate amongst yourselves who gets dressed up as the gorilla. So they're trying to see how many gorillas they can get to pull up to the wedding and stuff. And oh man, I'm super excited for it. I am not going to do it.
What are you dressing up
gonna,
as?
I am going to probably dress up as Mortgage. Actually, that's my plan.
You got the dreads. You can do it.
You're lying.
Yeah, no.
You have the doll. What doll are you taking?
I have the blue face paint. I also have an auntie who does voodoo, so I'm gonna borrow her doll. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that from Auntie Angela, and I probably just go get some yellow contacts from like a Halloween shop or something, and I'm just gonna get my dreads and like gel them to just stick out like this, and just go as Maury, bro.
So just the face, right? Not the clothing.
I will. You wanna make a bet on this, Cordy? You try to see dangly ego? Like
you got a +1? Did you pick a +1 already? I want to go.
We definitely need some picks.
Bro,
we definitely need some picks. We gotta show the podcast.
Come through. I'm gonna be coming through as the real deputy dangle. You know what I mean? but oh no, I'm canceled. But yeah, man. Super excited for that. What about you guys? What are you guys cooking?
You go.
Yeah. So let's see. We are going to. So we're doing a couple things for Halloween actually. So on Saturday or tomorrow, Friday, we're gonna go to like a comedy club. We're gonna dress up. We're gonna do a comedy club thing.
Hell yeah!
And then on Sunday, I'm super excited about. We're gonna go see Kiss. I love Kiss, dude.
Oh yeah, you told me about that a while ago, dude.
That's like when I think of like classic rock bands, they're like the ones that just pop in my mind. Like those are the goats. So we're gonna go see Kiss. I don't think I'm gonna get dressed up, but I know a lot of people are going to because it's like, you know, the weekend before Halloween. So we're gonna see a lot of cool like Kiss costumes and things like that. And then
it's not even Halloween though. Like Kiss concerts in general, people dress up.
And that's a really popular like dress up too. Like it's really easy to do. Like just the face paint and like leather clothing. I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate. But
yeah, bro, what's your AC looking like?
I'm pretty late game, but my AC's pretty good. But yeah, so we're doing that on Sunday. We're going to the Kiss concert. Super excited about that. And then for Halloween, we're just gonna hand out past candy. But for stream, I'm gonna do a little cosplaying for stream.
Oh yeah.
I might do some like trick or treating. I'm trying to figure out how to do like maybe like a spin the wheel. Like people can enter into spin the wheel, and if it's a treat, you get like Kima. If it's a trick, I don't know. You don't get anything.
That'd be nice. That's cool. That's unique.
Yeah, I gotta think about. I gotta brainstorm on that.
What are you cooking up, Wolfie? What are you doing, bro?
It's on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Tuesday.
I'll be streaming that day.
Are we dressing up? You didn't think about this?
No, I did. I'm not gonna dress up. I never did dress up for Halloween. Really, I remember like I had like this childhood experience. I was like, how old was I want to say it was like 8 or 9, where my mom dressed me up as a whoopee cushion, and I told her to get me a whoopee cushion, and I would dress up as. And then we got it on me. We walked out the door, and I just got so embarrassed immediate. And I just said, "Mom, we're going home. I'm not doing this. I can't do it." So I don't dress up for Halloween. I just don't. I don't know. I guess I get too embarrassed.
How'd you get embarrassed about the whoopee? Like
I don't know, because like we were gonna walk around the street, and I was gonna see everybody I went to school with. So I was like, I didn't know. I thought like I don't know. I was so.
I want to go as a fart joke.
You're too cool to.
It's not even like I didn't want to look like an idiot. So I was, but that's the whole point of Halloween is to dress up like the way you want. And I don't know. Since then, I just don't draw. I don't dress up.
I don't look like an idiot when I dress up. I dressed up as Scorpion for 6 years in a row.
Really?
No, yeah, I
looked really
stupid.
cool.
I should have thought that way.
Anybody in the chat or in the Paragon community can come get washed in Mortal Kombat 1, by the way. Just saying that. Just throwing that out there. You guys know where to find me.
Smoke bending.
I don't know why or how, but there was like 1 year I dressed up as Dennis Rodman.
Dennis, do I not know who that looks like? Let me see. I'm going to look it up.
Paul.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Am I uncultured?
It's kind of weird that you don't know about Dennis Rodman. You're uncultured. But like, I don't know why.
Basketball player?
Yeah.
That's why it's sports. I don't.
No. I'm trying to imagine you dressed up. That's why I'm confused. Dennis Rodman.
So he had like it was like I didn't like face paint or anything. It was just a like a
Guys, I didn't blackface. Okay,
it was like what did he have? Because I loved basketball back then, man. I used to.
Yeah, colored hair. That's one of his
But
staples.
it was like he had it was a Dennis Rodman mask, and I had like these like Hawaii like what are those things called? The flowery thingies, and like I had a like
I don't remember what it's.
I know. They were the hula dancers wear.
Yeah. Those I had a lot of those, and just like a really vibrant shirt. But I don't know. I really liked basketball a lot, and Dennis Rodman was just a really good player. Like,
he is, dude.
I would love.
He was weird, bro. Michael Jordan was like, bro, we need the rebounds. Dennis Rodman is such a weird player, dude. I like him, like going to Korea, like becoming besties with the dictator is forever wild as fuck to me. I'm unable to move on past how crazy that is to me, dude.
You guys get a lot of trick or treaters?
I live in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Because but the first year I moved here, I didn't get anything, and then last year we didn't like we got candy. They didn't show up. The next year we were like, nobody shows up. We're not gonna get candy. Of course, we get like 5 or 6 kids to show up. So now we look like.
Was it after like COVID though? Whenever you first
no. Yeah, it was after COVID. It was 2 years ago. COVID kind of was gone before 2 years ago, right? That's when it started like going away completely with the restrictions.
But people are a little scared. I think there was one October where people were scared of.
People were lightening up, but not there yet.
Yeah, they just the first year we didn't get a single one, so we didn't buy candy. The second one they came, and then we felt like absolute demons that were gonna rot in hell that we didn't give these kids the candy.
Yeah.
Now this year we have candy, but I don't know. We don't really get many. I would say like 3 or 4 people. And I live in an apartment complex, so there's probably kids are everywhere, right? But no.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I love Halloween, man. It's literally my favorite time of the year. Like the transition, like in October, just the transition to like cold weather, the holidays, and like even October itself, like a lot of scary stuff. I love scary movies. I grew up a lot watching a lot of scary movies.
Have you seen When Darkness like roams is what it's called?
When Darkness Roams?
When Darkness Roams, I think is what it's called. It's a new horror movie that got a lot of hype about it. So I love horror movies. I know
Darkness Falls.
No. It's a newer one. It's like When Darkness something. It's the whole movie is in Spanish. I think it was actually made in Mexico. It's a really good movie. It's a really good horror movie. You should definitely check it out. But like, if you guys haven't peeped some of the horror movies that are coming out this season, When Darkness Roams or something along those lines, check that one out. There's one on Hulu if you don't want to leave your house. That's called No One's Coming to Save You. That's pretty solid.
Did you watch that one?
Yeah, I watched it. That ending was wild, but I enjoyed the movie more than a lot of things, but I ultimately thought it was really good.
Yeah, we were thinking about watching that one.
Have you seen Smile or Talk to Me?
That got good reviews. Smile? Everybody said that was like the longest. It's been a while since they've been that scared from the movie.
Smile was one of my favorite horror movies. Like, it's in my top. Dude, I loved Smile. Really? Smile was goated. Bro, Cordy. That Smile with the therapist dog gave me chills.
Yeah, it was really creepy. Have you seen that yet, dude? Wolfie?
No, I'm not. I don't watch horror movies. I have my fight or flight response is fight. So if my girlfriend can't scare me, I'll start swinging. So
you don't like scary movies?
I tell her not to scare. No, I love Halloween. I do. It's my favorite. It's the weird thing is it's like one of my favorite holidays.
Are you a fan? It feels like a fake fan moment.
I do. I really do love it. I love because the reason I like it is I love seeing like the vampire werewolf movies. I love seeing like the gothic movies come out. Like I like that side of Halloween.
I'm a classic horror guy.
Scare thing. It just I don't know. I like if I see Michael Myers, I'll start swinging at the TV. I don't know why.
Bro,
I get so freaked out.
Have you seen the original Scream movies?
Yes, and I thought it was a parody. It is a parody, right?
It's
supposed to be a joke or something.
There is some parodies. Yeah, there is a parody scary movie.
Dude, it took over the early 2000s everywhere. Like especially when they're the twins. They were in the White Girls, I think was the name of the movie. And they were like cops dressing up as
the Wayans brothers. Yeah, dude,
the Wayans brothers. Once they picked it up and they turned Scream into a parody,
they're amazing, man. I love the Wayne brothers.
I want them to do more, but they won't. I don't know why. They're brothers. I think they fell out or something.
Wolfie, I'm telling you straight up, you're still the latest catching every gank from this thing going forward. I'm gonna be
I'm just not a fan, dude.
bro. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm gonna be.
Drive-by paying me.
Yeah, dude, I'm not. You can be full HP. You're catching it. Like it's obligatory. I cannot. I'm telling TZ to gank you off cooldown. Like,
no,
dude.
I never did it. The horror movie stuff.
Dude,
I really didn't.
The Scream movies are so iconic, dude. The Scary Movie is goated. All the scary movies are goated. Okay, there's this one joke in the older scary movies, like Scary Movie 2, where like one of the Wayans brothers goes in and there's like this like hag girl monster, like the girl from The Ring, basically. And she hops out and she's like, and her tongue just like a foot and a half long, and he's like, ooh, and then you like walk in on him, and he's put like a paper bag on our head, and he's like getting head. It's crazy, bro. Yeah. It goes so crazy. Yeah,
if you guys haven't seen, like people in chat, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Scary Movie is the name of it, but it's by the Wayans brothers, man. Marlon Wayans and I think Sean Wayans. But the Wayans brothers, like it's hilarious, dude. They do a lot of parodies of like scary movies.
Yeah, they do. They do a lot. Their comedy is unique too, because it's like it's almost pushing the envelope, but like the adults will get it, but the kids will still laugh at it because it's goofy. But it's their comedy is like some top tier like echelon of comedy that I honestly think the last funny movie that really got me to like die crying was The Other Guys. Yeah, it was The Other Guys. Everything after that, like. It fell off. Adam Sandler has fallen off. I never really liked
his series
what's his name?
Has been pretty good. I haven't watched him.
His Netflix stuff? I haven't watched it because I figured it was all
like he's like cheap. A gambler with the diamonds and stuff.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah, that kind of like brought him back into like the fold. But
I was like, oh, you still can act. He's like, yeah, I still got it, guys. I promise.
So I don't know. I think the last movie that really made me laugh was The Other Guys. I never really. What's that guy? What's his name? He was the voice actor for Megamind.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. I never liked his stuff.
Me either, actually. But Megamind's goated.
Megamind is goated. It's so slept on that people did. I can't believe it got in theaters for like a month and then just straight to DVD or whatever, straight to streaming services.
You're a villain. You're just not super. Just dunk. Just
But like, yeah, it was weird that I laughed at his Megamind, but I wouldn't laugh at his comedy stuff.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think the only Will Ferrell movie I like is Elf.
Yeah, Elf. I've never seen, but I've heard like really good things about it.
Okay, you're gonna say I'm uncultured? You've never seen Elf?
Yeah, that's pretty uncultured,
bro. Pause. You just got Scream mixed up with actual scary movie.
That's
like, unironically.
That's kind of unironically, but it's a Christmas movie.
I watched Alien when I was a kid, and it made me cry. It was so scary, even though it was terrible like graphics back then, but either way.
The first thing I saw that I think made me cry because I thought it was scary, it was the Thriller video from Michael Jackson.
That was kind of creepy though. That was actually really creepy.
I was a kid and I listened to Michael Jackson. The first time I see him, he turns into a werewolf. So I'm like,
it's kind of crazy.
I was like, bro, that's crazy. Like, that's absolutely crazy.
I love scary movies, man. I grew up just watching like slasher movies. I don't know. It's really weird.
Why do you do it? I feel like there's some childhood trauma behind it. I don't know. Like, I want someone to scare the living daylight, or like that, and you're like adrenaline junkies, and you're looking for your fix.
It was definitely followed up by like cartoons, but I don't know. I just loved Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Child's Play. I like Chucky. I like to watch all those. I just really got into like slasher movies.
Oh yeah, I couldn't do it.
Have you seen Cabin in the Woods?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
I love that movie. I love when like the sex scene in it. It was like looking and like the one guy's like, that's really necessary. It's like the gods won't be happy unless they see your boobs. Like that shit is so good. Like it's like how just like makes fun of like the horror movie tropes and stuff. And like you're all ready to see. Like I saw my first pair of boobs in Friday the 13th. Actually,
it's funny, right? They show a lot of nudity in those movies. Man.
They do.
That might be why I liked it as a kid.
Yeah. Bro,
it was guaranteed.
Bro,
that's what that is. That's why it's like
maybe.
Yeah,
I thought it was childhood trauma. You guys are just horny.
It was before the hub. Okay, it was before the hub.
Yeah, it could have been. It was guaranteed boobies when you're watching Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it wasn't. God. There wasn't like there wasn't like a genre searcher on Pornhub or nothing. You just, I guess I go watch Jason kill a chick, but before that. Britney's taking her top off. I'm canceled.
You guys would just go to your dad and be like, Dad, let's go see the horror movie. And then your mom says, it's a lot of gore and killing. I don't think we should see it. And then you're like, Dad, there's boobs. We get to see boobs. Let's go see the movie.
We're already in the car.
Joke's on you. I didn't have a dad.
Dude, same.
Damn.
Hit him with the skill issue, really.
But
so, Cordy, I had someone earlier, and I wanted to, stuff because this is only episode 2. They were like, they heard that we answered questions at the end previously that we get. Do we want to do that at the end of when we're done talking about our general stuff, or do we want to do that post record?
Well, I think we'll just do post record because I don't. There's no.
Okay.
Incentivizes people to come
exactly. Okay.
Marketing, right? That's how that works.
Dude, I can't even spell the thing. I just come up and people ask me to talk fast and talk about how they're getting diffed.
Is there anything else we want to touch on with Halloween, or is there another topic?
I'm just excited for Halloween to be here.
Yeah, I like Halloween. I'm surprised you're not going to dress up for a stream though.
Yeah, I know Paige is doing it. I think he's dressing up as fish.
Yeah,
dude, he's gonna dress up. He's gonna be in a wolf onesie with a wolf hat, dude.
It's so weird. I wouldn't be a whoopee cushion as a kid, but now I wear a fucking wolf onesie for money. Jesus, dude.
Dude, that childhood trauma diffed you as an adult. You're
I don't know where it started. If I could find the origin point, I can fix it. But I don't know where it is. But I don't know why. Halloween to me, I love the season. I love the movies that come out. But the horror stuff, you could miss me with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't really been too scared for movies. It's kind of just I'm looking for really good movies. I think they're really the best movie that I've seen in a really long time for a horror movie was the It remake.
It was good.
Oh, so
it was good.
Amazing, man. Have you seen that? Well, you probably not.
I saw that it blew up the internet because everybody was so excited, but they were also nervous because they redid it, right?
Yeah.
So they were worried that it was just going to be screwed over and ruined again. But I've seen scenes of it. I think what's scary about it is that it's how sincere the clown is and how convincing he is.
Bill Skarsgård. That guy's amazing.
Bill Skarsgård is insane. I saw his TV show on Netflix a while ago where he comes from a family of monsters and shit. That is also really good.
Oh, that's it. I mean, that's a good day. Five Nights at Freddy's actually is out. That's getting review bombed. It's not as good reviews.
I'm not gonna bother.
No,
I played the game for 20 minutes and I was like, I am not entertained nor afraid. Then I got jump scared. And I'm like, then I closed it and never opened it again.
I'm probably gonna watch it.
Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know what that. Everyone's like, yeah, it's a fun gimmicky game, but the lore behind it is so expansive. They can make a whole universe around this. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was into that lore, dude. I was into it. I was watching a lot of multiplayer play.
It was the purple man put the first child in the Chuck E. Cheese robe. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was a bit weird.
So unironically, because Cordy, you've seen it, my favorite horror movie recently is Smile, hands down. I am a huge fan. I am a huge fan of a psychological destruction movie. Watching the degradation, the breakdown of somebody's mental scape in I love that, bro. I think it's super entertaining, and throughout that whole movie, seeing this thing that is basically omnipotent just toy with her mental throughout it as she finds more and more stuff out. Also, the concept that you only know the indication of this monster is it's a metaphor for the hurt people, but literally it passes its curse onto you by traumatizing you with immense violence. It's S tier, bro. I love, bro. I want to go rewatch the movie.
It really helps with to see the actors too. When you see actors do that stuff, where they you see them mentally break down, and because it's a great actor the way that they do it, and nobody else could do it. A good example of that with Heath Ledger and his Joker, phenomenal, right? That is an amazing performance, but. Now, to make that a scary movie, that's I feel like that's dependent on the actors and how they show how they're losing their sanity, though.
Yeah,
you can't just pull that off with anybody.
That's just crazy acumen to act to be scared and look feared, look like you have a lot of fear in you.
Yo, Wolfie, can you scratch your beard again? Can you scratch your beard again? All right, a little bit more, a little bit higher. Like get your forehead.
The tat.
Like get your forehead. Get
Did
your.
you go to the
get your-
Renaissance? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what it was. Okay, so
went to, like,
here
a
I show
Renaissance or
you. I
something?
went to the Renaissance Fair last Saturday, and there's henna tattoos, which is what these are. They're not permanent. They go away after about 2 weeks.
Where's the Outplayed
So,
podcast?
It's already fading. That's the problem. It's
Rude.
kind of
right?
it's gonna be hard to see with this, but like
Oh,
it's already fading. Then this one was from the how do I showcase my arm?
The octopus?
This one was on the design book. This is it's supposed to be a
that's dope.
phoenix, not an octopus.
Oh.
And then I was like, I thought about it. I was like, do you guys do custom orders? And Ego sent me a while back of his logo that he's working on. And I was like, what if I got a henna tattoo of it? He's like, dude, do it. I'd love to see it. So I got his. It's not the exact copy of his logo. He's
it's
still cleaning it,
logo.
but it's actually his logo on my arm. So I was like, yeah, why
That's
not?
dope. I'm actually going to be
Love it
going
so
for the
much.
first time in, I don't know when, like next month sometime. For my first time
Yeah.
I'm going to a Renaissance one.
I missed my local one. I really wish I would have gone. I just, I'm such an introvert with stuff like the notion of like going out and doing things like actually scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, but like
sometimes.
everybody there's an introvert. That's why they're all dressed up like, you know, that's
they're
like
all
the nerd
nerds.
city. So
They're literally
Bruh,
nerds.
they're all nerds, but I wouldn't say they're all introverts. Like the first time someone pulls up on me, which is weird because I want to get internet famous so bad. Like in my heart, no joke, I will never lie about it. I would love to like meet Yosef or Del Taco in real life and just like hear down like the hallway, like, yo, that's Ego. I literally like turn around and I like the introvertness would leave my body. I just be like, yo, what's up? Don't tell anybody I said that one thing on stream, but but oh man, it would be so
it
sick.
was
But at
fun.
the same time, if a stranger approaches me
Big fan.
and there's not like,
Big fan, by the way.
bro, stop.
oh, big fan, dude.
I'm so tired.
Every time I see Big Fan, by the way, it's in Cordy Shad's Big Fan, by the way. Also, here's a clip of Take My Portal. And it's always that. It's just Big Fan, by the way, Take My Portal. But, so if you guys are on the YouTube side, you're going to have to go to Cordy's Twitch and ask about that.
How do
Maybe I put
they
it in
always
short.
have the clip ready? Like it's like they have it saved
Maybe I'll put
somewhere.
it short up.
They have it saved on their browser.
Yeah.
Just click the link.
Oh, they just
Market.
never closed the tab.
The Renaissance is fun though. Like the only thing that was weird about it, it was like it was funny because when they were asking me about the Outplayed podcast logo, they said to me, they're like, "So what is this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just a video." I wanted to keep it like not tied to me because I was embarrassed because it's our first episode. It's something to brag about. So I'm like,
It's a pretty big brag.
it's a podcast that I watch. You know, I just really like the people on there, and you know, I just figured I'd get their logo. And then she's like, "Oh, like why? Have you been on it? Are you a guest?" And I was like, I didn't want to lie to her. I don't like lying to people. So I'm like, I'm one of the co-hosts. And then she's like, oh, with who? I was like, these two guys I met. They're really cool dudes. She's like, how long you know them? I'm like, 2 months.
Yeah. That's
So, you know, and she's like, you're getting a henna tattoo with involving them? And it was like, it's not real. It's going to go away. And I was like, explaining the whole thing. They're like, oh, what's this logo with the sword and the wings? Did you think of this? Are you going to get this tattooed? Is this just a test? It's like, the guy I met 2 months ago was just kind of logos. I was just like,
She's
it's
straight
awkward.
looking at you like people who get tattoos of their boyfriend of 4 weeks on their ass cheek. She's looking at you like she was one more tattoo away from being like, listen, honey, do you have a joint bank account with these people? Like,
So yeah, it's always fun, dude. The Renaissance Fair is always fun. I definitely liked. I think my two favorite shows is the Washing Well Wenches. Those girls they're hilarious. And the Tortuga Twins. That's about it. Everybody else was just kind of meh, you know.
What question for you guys? Because I don't remember. Did one of you guys last week say you were kind of like big Nintendo fans or of like Zelda and stuff? Or was that from somewhere else I heard that from? Because I know we talked a little bit about games.
I'm not a big
Pretty
Zelda fan. I think the first one I played was like, what's the one where he's animated? The Wind Maker, I think it is, where he's like super animated, cartoon style. I guess is I don't know what you'd call it. But I tried. I
we
played
did
that one.
a room tour of Ego's room.
We do.
I wanna see
He's
what else
probably
he
got
has.
some Zelda thing out there. It is. Yeah,
Dude.
yeah. Dude, is that real metal? No way.
That's
It's-
real.
no, that
Real
looks like
and
it.
It looks real
sharpened.
metal.
That's real and
You're
sharpened.
such a nerd. It's awesome.
I am, bro. But dude, like, if people came over to my house, they're like, "Oh, yeah, so many cool things." I'm like, "Yeah, because I never leave. This is my safe." I have a real metal shield right over there with it, but I didn't want to grab it too.
Oh, bro,
Hmm.
we need like.
But yeah.
Do you have any pics of your room, like of all your stuff?
So fun fact. So fun fact. I'm wildly poor. This is
I
actually
can
the
see
corner.
visually.
Yeah, right, right. You cannot
Same.
tell. This is the corner of the living room of my 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
This is like I was like, babe, I just need like a 12 by 12 space. Can we make that work? And she's like, yeah, you can have that corner of the living room. So I just have my back in the corner wall. That way you guys can't see that I can approximately reach my like hand out of this corner like this much. But it looks good. And
It does.
that's what matters. We made it. We pulled it.
Content creation for Overprime is not paying its dues, but we'll get there. The game will get massive.
We'll get there. I believe in us. Yeah, I have a lot of statues, Magic the Gathering decks, Magic decks, manga, board games, card games, miniatures for my D&D stuff. So this,
man.
Yeah.
You ever do a D&D session before or no?
Yeah, I'm a professional DM.
You are?
Quotes. Yep, I have a couple sponsors.
You got a lot of stuff on your roster, dude.
Every day I'm in hell, but I'm just kidding. I
We
love
need to
all
do
the stuff I
DM,
can do.
or we need to do D&D. Wolfie and I would join.
No, I can't. I can't dress
Dude.
up, and now you want me to role play?
Nah, you'll be good. I
Dude.
know it, man. You're entertaining.
I don't
I've seen
know.
your streams.
As you make your way into the solo lane, you can see the sky lit with various chromatic colors. As across to you, you see the mostly geological form of the rampage, making a rotation in the brush. You can see slight movement. You suspect that someone may be there. Can I have you make a perception check?
I was gonna say roll a perception.
I'm not gonna roll for like. I don't even know the rules
Dude,
or
we
anything.
can do this. I would love it.
Yeah,
I would
miss D&D,
love
man.
it.
I miss it.
I've never
That's
done
why I like
that.
I love
I-
Baldur's
it's-
Gate right now.
It's always
Mhm.
intimidating. I feel like it's intimidating to get into
Nah, it's not.
because I know my girl loves it. She would love to. She'd love to do it. I've been trying to. I was like encouraging her to go to some streamers host like D&D sessions for subs
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Figured I'd try to get her in on that, but
I-
the only experience I have with D&D kind of is there's an Amazon show. What's it called?
Oh yeah.
It's Matt Mercer. His
Yeah.
his D&D session.
Critical Role?
Critical
Oh my
Role,
god,
yeah.
you want to see my Critical Role statues?
Yeah, go get it, Bo.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not exposing myself like that.
I forgot their show. We will. I love that show. That show was great. But the actual, my girl showed me the podcast of it, and I was just like, or the show, or the D&D show of it, and I was just like, this isn't for me. I can't do this. Like, I think they could do it because they have the voices and stuff. I don't.
Yeah,
But
no, don't think about like you needing
Yeah.
to put on an act. Just
Yeah,
that's the way it feels.
no.
that's the Mercer syndrome.
The main
You
thing is just
see-
like mentally put yourself in that
Yeah.
environment. But it's
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
We could. It is
Watch
really
Machina.
fun, but I
That's
understand
fun.
they're like as a DM. I like. Okay, so I'm not gonna dox myself here. Let's say my real life name is Daquan. Let's
Okay.
go with that. Let's go with that. So I've branded myself as like my like name for like when people hire me as a DM or like hire me for campaigns and stuff is Dungeon Master Daquan.
Okay.
And so I've like branded myself around that. And literally when I tell someone, I tell them I am trying to give them a Mercerian experience. I have like really cool, like expensive, like I have like a custom DM board that's like made out of wood and stuff. And
Wait, is
like,
this real talk? Like you do?
yeah.
You gotta send me pictures.
you host sessions at like a
actually,
studio, or is it all online?
At mostly people's houses. Some people have studios that I host them at.
Okay.
But you know, so like when I moved to where I currently lived, I basically had to leave home for some like reasons and stuff, and I was super depressed. And I had known like about D&D like very faintly, but I discovered Critical Role through that, and as such, because that was the first thing that I really exposed to, and then I ended up playing with my uncle every week. I developed like a really deep love for it. Everything as a DM, I know I kind of brought from Matt Mercer, so like my stuff like mirrors his, and that itself is a negative part of what people call the Mercer effect. Is because you see that like these voice actors are like playing D&D with all these cool props and all this other stuff and like all this awesome shit. And me personally, it's something that I wish I had, and that's why I like strive to kind of attain, because I'm inherently like a storyteller. Like that's what I love doing more than anything else. But
We gotta
you
do
can't hold yourself to that standard. Really, you can't. Like these
Yes,
guys
that's a fair
are
point.
not. Yeah, they're not only voice actors; they're literal actors. That's like if you watch an NFL game and you're like, I'm kind of intimidated by football, and it's like, yeah, well, you know,
I didn't think about it like that. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, it like this is literally the top of the caliber. And me personally, because I've always been a storyteller, I'm inspired by it to try and do better, to try and give people these narratives. But as a player, you cannot let yourself like kind of fall into that. And I've seen actually a lot of DMs quit D&D because they get this unfair expectation of they want every DM to be Matt Mercer, you know, and he's one of like the best storytellers of our generation. It's just not kind of fair to them. I'll be right back real quick for Cordy. I'm just going to grab my DM screen because he's going to say, so I'll be back.
Cordy, you ever do D&D?
Yeah, I did D&D for like a year.
Yeah, like you just like you did Dungeon Master, did you, or did you just be a part of the roles?
It was like my first time playing.
Yeah.
So we kind of like, it was a group of us. It was a really fun name too because I put it on YouTube and we'd stream it every Sunday.
Do you have the videos up on your channel?
I have a channel. Yeah, it's called Dungeons and Dimwits.
That's trademarked,
right? That's
great.
Good. That's a really good name, right?
I like that. I like that. What got you into D&D? Was it your friends, or is it were you depressed like Ego?
No, I just I don't know. I just kind of liked the nerdiness of D&D. Okay. I don't know how I stumbled upon D&D. I definitely got through streaming. Like when I was streaming a lot, and people would talk about D&D and chat and stuff. And I just kind of like wanted to know more about it, and kind of watched people play D&D, and I think Aspen Gold at one time played D&D as well, and these other you know bigger content creators played D&D at some point. So
yeah.
Oh, actually, it was Achievement Hunter. I don't know if you know Achievement Hunter or like Let's Play.
I missed those guys. I used to watch them in Red Tooth or something. Red something. Forgot what they were.
Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth. Yeah.
They played D&D as well, and I watched those guys, and I think that's kind of how I started getting to D&D. Is I watched those guys. Yeah, I love D&D. It's fun. That's why I love. That's why I love DG3.
That's so cool, man.
What?
This is my DM board.
That's so cool.
On the other side of the panels, it has like some of my favorite moments from like my previous campaigns.
Do you get that custom made, or?
Yeah, my sponsors made it.
Oh man,
these are screenshots from some of my previous campaigns I've run.
The audio listeners are missing out.
They are.
Yeah, oh, dude. And on the inside, there's actually a spot for all my dice as well as magnets at the top for my notes and stuff.
Very,
bro.
Dude, that looks so cool.
I'm gonna move close to you so you can DM for me and we can play.
Dude, I would love to, man. I really do enjoy like the stereotypical narrative. I let myself get caught up.
I feel sorry for the chatters here. Let me go to a different overlay and have you show that again. I think.
Yeah, give him something for.
Oh, hit him with the part twos.
Let me do.
I feel so out of place. D&D. I didn't know you guys were so big into it.
I mean, now they can see you.
I would probably say that a majority of my casting talents come from being a narrator in D&D for so long. Like,
yeah, that's true. You gotta like think on the fly and stuff too.
Yeah,
it's upside down. I think.
Oh, it is. Turn it. There it goes. Hit it. A large part of my just being able to talk for like long times on end and stuff comes from just being a DM first and foremost, really.
It is a unique skill set. Like people can't typically you can't just say, I'm able to be a dungeon master and do it. Do you write your own campaigns, or do you like use ones from online?
You do?
Oh, okay.
I do write my campaigns. Yeah.
You can get them. There's like.
Yeah, you can get pre-made modules.
Yeah, I know you can.
Step by step.
I imagine like you get like someone like Michael Bay just comes up to you and says, "Ego, your campaign was so good of a story, it's a movie now."
And kind of just set for your life. That's what happened with Critical Role.
Yeah, they literally the people at like Wizards, Pathfinder originally. They were originally thinking Pathfinder, and then somebody working at Wizards of the Coast heard that there was a group going on in Hollywood at Matt Mercer's house of 5 voice actors who happened to be playing D&D.
Yeah.
So I think it was like Geeks or something. I don't remember, Geeks Plus or something along those. Where it's like, hey, we'll pay you guys if you just convert this from Pathfinder to a D&D campaign and just stream it. And then it blew up, right? It went literally Geeks and Sundry. Then it literally just went nuclear, right? And my my end of my goal. So like, as much as I love Paragon the Overprime, I would sell my life. I would give up my apartment. I would give up everything to have a studio with a table and cameras where I could like DM, not because I want to be the next Matt Mercer. I'm already Matt Mercer from Wish, but like if I had the platform to just tell my stories and some way to like be to be remembered for it. That's my dream. That's like ultimately like the core of my person. Being a storyteller and being one that's remembered is like who I am.
My dream is Wolfie and I get into one of your DM sessions and we play D&D.
Bro, it'll be sick. It'll be sick,
It'll be
bro.
You can make it a sub goal or something.
Yeah, we should definitely look into that. We could do like a one shot or something. All right.
Oh, yeah,
but that was a fun podcast, man. That was a good podcast.
Episode
2, man.
Good
podcast.
Yeah.
We have the end of the patch for Paragon on Tuesday, so we can go over that on this upcoming Thursday. But yeah, guys.
Before we go, we have any plugs we gotta do?
Yeah, you guys want
anything coming up?
We can re-plug. Go ahead. You go first. You go.
The OPL Season 1 Finals is looking like it may be November 18th. If you're not a part of our Discord, please hop on over because we'll be doing an official announcement for that here pretty soon. It'll be a singular day event here with the top 2 ranked teams getting a bye. And also, we are going to have first, second, and third place prizes. And the winner of this will also dictate who will get their jerseys first for Season 2. So, if you've been riding with us throughout that, thank you. But, if you haven't, why not jump in at the top of the hill? Get that level up while you're rocking with us.
For me, twitch.tv/Mike Wolfie. I'll probably be on solo lane trying to learn how to fight Yin, if I can fight her, and just screaming my head off about getting drive-by pained.
What are your streaming days again?
I stream Tuesdays from like 7 to like 5. 2 Thursdays, 7 to 5. Saturdays it's like. Yeah, I tried to because I would love for this to be a full-time thing, but we'll get there eventually. It's going to be a grind. If Overprime blows up, I'm sure we all will get there.
I'm sorry, I kind of cut you off on your days. So it's Tuesday and what else?
Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights. I get out of work at 7 on Saturday, so then I stream Saturday nights.
Cool.
That's it for me.
And I'm Cordy again. Thursday through Sunday. Why are you laughing?
Dude, I'm trying so hard not to look at the comments.
Oh,
and
the big fan,
first
by the way.
time I look, I drive by. God. Big fan, by the way. Just fucking night, dude.
But yeah, I stream Thursday through Sunday. A lot of Paragon, put a lot of YouTube content. We do some casting with Ego, and now we do the podcast and builds. Man, that website. I need to like hunker down and get that out before console comes out, because that'll be a big thing for me personally.
You could think of it as another ad. You throw like a little ad of the podcast and put some clips in here. You throw it on the website.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, podcast live Thursdays. I know you like my Bellica build, but podcast Thursdays.
Like, hey, look at that. Just have it be a pop up. Be like, have you been watching Outplayed?
But yeah, podcast Thursdays, twitch.tv/Cordy. On Fridays, we'll put them on YouTube, and we have Spotify. So for you guys that want to do
Spotify, let's go.
No video on Spotify, just audio on Spotify. And that'll be on, just search Outplayed Podcast, and you'll find us there with the logo and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that is it for the podcast. We'll catch you guys next Thursday.
Hell yeah.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.